Hi friends, Dr. Rose here today. We're talking about a very important topic, I think, in the low carb world and weight loss world. So you've lost weight, you feel healthier, and your labs are better. And then you look in the mirror and you see sagging skin, veins popping out that you didn't see before, and dimples. And I'm not talking about these kind of dimples. I'm talking about the dimples that show up where you don't want them to. It can feel very discouraging, like your body didn't get the memo that you've worked really hard to lose this weight. But what if I told you this is actually a normal, even healing process? Today I'm breaking down the physiology of loose skin after weight loss and how diet and resistance training can improve it, the role of autophagy, and some realistic options for arms, thighs, without undergoing the knife. Let's talk about what happens underneath the skin. Think of your skin as a layered structure. You've got the epidermis on the top, which is what we see. It's very thin. The dermis is the thickest area with the collagen and elastin and a lot of other important things in that layer. That's a discussion for another time. And then beneath that, a layer of subcutaneous fat. So when you carry extra weight, that fat stretches the skin over years and sometimes even decades. So when you lose fat, especially rapidly, that subcutaneous fat cell shrinks. But the collagen, which I like to refer to as the netting that holds all those fat cells where they're supposed to be, doesn't shrink quite as fast. And that's why you sometimes see fat that looks what I like to call compartmentalized or dimpled or almost like cellulite. And when that padding thins out quickly, veins that used to be buried suddenly sit closer to the surface, making them more visible. And when I lost, I think, first 10 pounds on carnivore, and I'm close to my goal weight, so it was pretty impactful. I noticed all the veins in my thighs, anterior thighs, were really prominent. And I don't have varicose veins or anything like that, but it was just odd for me to see that. And I can tell you right now that has improved tremendously, and I'm only in month 3. But I like to give the balloon in a net analogy. When that balloon is blown up to capacity and the net is stretched around it, everything looks smooth. If you deflate your fat cells quickly and that balloon, you suddenly see every pocket and groove. That's your skin and fascia after weight loss. I'm going to put my physical therapist and my professor hat on here. In the world of physical therapy, we deal a lot with fascia. It's around everything, and plays a big role in injury and can cause a lot of pain syndromes. And to give you some of my background, I had a very strong interest in this area because of chronic pain syndromes. And so I attended many conferences on myofascial release. So it's sort of an area of passion for me and expertise. So I want you to think of fascia like that mesh bag you buy your oranges or avocados in. And if you pull on one part of that bag, the tension isn't just on that part. You see the tension through the whole bag. That's one way to think about fascia. So you're covered in it from head to toe. And if I have a restriction up here in my shoulder, I can have pain or symptoms down on my left side near my hip because it's one big network and it's all connected. You can also picture it when you lift the skin off a chicken thigh. You're seeing that thin white fibrous mesh underneath. And that is actually the fascia. And it's holding the skin onto what was the chicken muscle, which is the chicken thigh. That's what fascia is. It's not flat, it's actually 3-dimensional, wrapping around every muscle fiber, every muscle bundle, every vessel in your body. And when you look at it under an electron microscope, it's actually filled with fluid, which means it needs to stay hydrated and flexible to glide the way it's supposed to. Now, when fascia gets bound down or stiff, it can dimple the skin, pull unevenly, and even make muscles look asymmetrical. But when it's healthy, supported by good hydration, movement, and resistance training, it helps the skin lay smoother, and you simply look better. Now, here's where your diet comes in. Protein is the number one building block of collagen. Amino acids like glycine, proline, and leucine are what your body uses to rebuild the connective tissue. And if you're eating meat, eggs, even supplementing with collagen or gelatin or drinking good bone broth, you're fueling that repair process. Micronutrients matter too. Vitamin C, zinc, and copper are required to cross-link those collagen fibers, making them strong and elastic. And I want you to try to visualize this. Collagen should look like a tic-tac-toe grid. When there becomes a problem with fascia, that collagen, especially under the environment of inflammation, and we know there's a lot of fat. We talked a lot about our fat cells and how they can become inflammatory. Then it starts laying down adhesions or another name for like scar tissue. And instead of having that nice tic-tac-toe board, you're getting random directions of all this collagen and fascia, and it gets bound down. So if you've ever gone to physical therapy and you had scar tissue and the therapist gets in there with their thumb and starts going across that scar, maybe you had a total knee and you're not getting your new full range of motion because that scar got bound down. The therapist is going to go in there and do cross friction massage to break up those cross fibers, that random ones, and create a little inflammation, but to try to re-heal it so that that cell, that tissue, that tendon repairs with like cells instead of scar tissue and can fully heal. Now, low carb and carnivore diets have a unique advantage. They lower glycation, and glycation is when sugar molecules stiffen that collagen, making it brittle. Less glycation means your collagen is healthier and more supple, and we want our skin and our tendons to yield to a stretch. Now, what about autophagy? In a low insulin fat burning state, your body activates this cleanup crew. It breaks down old damaged proteins, including stretched out collagen, and it signals the cells to lay down new, healthier tissue. This is part of why fasting and the ketogenic states are so powerful for skin renewal. Now, a lot of people say, even on my channel, don't be chasing ketones. Well, this is when you might want to be chasing ketones, right? To give your body, to set up an environment so that your skin has the best chance to do its rebuilding and repairing. Now, let's talk about the fats on your plate because they show up in your skin and connective tissue. Good fats from grass-fed beef, fatty fish, pasture-raised eggs, butter, tallow, and olive oil support healthy cell membranes and calm inflammation. So every cell, whether it's a muscle cell, a heart cell, skin cell, have a bilipid layer or in the membrane, and they all require good fats. Omega-3s in particular help that elasticity and skin hydration. You're giving your body stable building blocks for collagen and fascia. Bad fats, especially seed oils or industrial vegetable oils high in linoleic acid or omega-6 like soybean, corn, canola, sunflower, safflower oil, tend to be very pro-inflammatory and easily oxidize. So when those unstable fats get incorporated into adipose tissue, your fat tissue, they can promote local inflammation and oxidative stress. That inflamed stress tissue distorts the collagen netting and can exaggerate a cellulite-like appearance on the surface. Many people notice smoother tone when they ditch the seed oils and replace them with stable animal fats and olive oil. Translation: better raw materials, better skin architecture. So resistance training is your skin's best friend. Loose skin looks worse when there's no structure underneath it. Enter resistance training. By building muscle, you fill out the space under the skin. It gives the skin scaffolding, a foundation to drape over. There's also a circulation benefit. Strength training boosts blood flow and nutrient delivery to the skin and fascia, which accelerates collagen remodeling. It is required to have good circulation, oxygen, and nutrients for good remodeling. And movement itself breaks up stiff fascia and helps to reorganize those connective tissue bands, reducing the compartmentalized appearance of your skin. So your skin has limits. Age, genetics, duration of stretch, and total weight loss all matter. And if the skin has been stretched for decades, it may not fully snap back. But improvement is real. And here's what I really want you to hear. You have to change your mindset here a little bit. You have to think in terms of 12 to 24 months. With time, nutrition, and training, most people see noticeably firmer and noticeably smoother look, even if some looseness remains. And remember, loose skin is harmless. It's a badge of honor. So I've been working out. I'm trying to build these muscles. So there's my bicep. And if I tighten up my tricep here, I do have a little bit there. It's not very wrinkly or loose. It's something I can live with, and it's continuing to improve now that I added resistance training in month 3 of my carnivore journey. So what are some non-surgical options for arms and thighs? If you want a little extra help, here's what's available short of surgery. You can do targeted resistance training, like your triceps and biceps, to build up the structure in your arm. You can do your quads, the front of your thighs and your hamstrings and your glutes to help support your thigh and leg area and your buttocks. Your lifestyle, some lifestyle things you could do: hydration, sleep, protein, and good fats. There are some adjunct therapies. There's red light therapy. It can provide gentle collagen stimulation. When I had my Achilles tendon was aggravated, I used red light therapy. Some radiofrequency. I have not had any experience with this, like Thermage, Morpheus 8, Venus Freeze. It heats the dermis to trigger tightening. I'm not sure if it's forever or lasts forever or not, or you have to keep getting that done. There's microneedling, where they take a little rolling pin with micro needles and they go over your skin, and it's creating a little micro trauma, and then it stimulates the body to go in and heal and replace it with new skin. There's PRP that has growth factor from your blood, and it signals collagen repair. So that's also used in the orthopedic world. Instead of getting an invasive surgery, like say for a rotator cuff, you can try that procedure and try to repair it with PRP. There's topical retinoids, small but real collagen boosts, but it does help a little bit. So none of these erase loose skin totally, but if you layer them, you can get some modest improvements, especially when fascia is healthy and muscles are strong. Why not just get liposuction? Well, here's the issue. Fat cells aren't just storage bins, they're hormone organs that help regulate insulin sensitivity. So when liposuction removes fat cells, you have fewer safe storage deposits. Does that make sense? And extra energy then spills into the liver, the pancreas, and the muscle. And I just did, I'll link it below if you didn't see my recent video on lipotoxicity. And that drives insulin resistance. So while liposuction may slim your waist, It doesn't improve your health. In fact, that it can make things worse metabolically. Loose skin, on the other hand, is cosmetic only. That's a big difference. So if I were you, if I wanted subtle tightening and had mild laxity, I'd start with non-surgical approaches, radiofrequency, PRP, fascia-friendly movements. They're gentle, gradual, and natural, and resistance training. And if the skin was severe and really impacted quality of life, and it does sometimes, then surgery is the only option. It's effective, but it comes with scars, costs, and downtime. So it's definitely needed in some circumstances. So here's the bottom line. Try lifestyle and non-surgical tools that give you gradual, steady progress. Give yourself, your body the time, 12 to 24 months, until you see what it really can do. Surgery is a dramatic reset, but can be valid depending on your goals. So here's the takeaway. Loose skin is not a failure. It's physiology. Your fascia and collagen are remodeling, your muscles are growing, and your body is healing. Loose skin never hurt anyone. Metabolic disease will. Choose your victory. So drop your questions in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe and share this with someone who needs encouragement today. I'll see you in the next video.